Hello everyone, welcome back. Till now we have discussed about the managed RAP application. From this video and onwards we start the unmanaged RAP application. In this video we will understand what is the difference between the managed, unmanaged and managed with save. The question is not about that how to create the unmanaged application. The question is that when to create the unmanaged application. And most of we guys are struggling that when to create the unmanaged application. If we are creating the unmanaged, in my scenario I should create the managed application, or I should create the unmanaged application, or I should go with the managed with the save. To answer this question we should be having deeper knowledge of the RAP architecture, not that model architecture which we have seen. I'm talking about the technical, more the technical, which method call where and what it is happening where. So those kind of things we have to know, then only we can decide that we have to go for unmanaged or we have to go for the managed. So from here and onwards we more talk about the unmanaged from this video and onwards, and when to use unmanaged and what kind of the situation can come that we have to use unmanaged scenario. Those things we will discuss throughout now next videos and onwards. In this video we will more focus on the getting the difference between the unmanaged, managed and managed with save. And not only that, we will try to see if we are developing our RAP application in the different environment, like if we are developing on premise, on cloud or BTP, what all are things we have to make sure. So without wasting the time, let's start with this video. As you can see on my screen, we can do three kind of implementation when we develop the RAP application. One is the managed RAP view, which we have created till now. We have managed RAP view with unmanaged lock and save. We can say unmanaged save. And third one is the unmanaged RAP view. The basic fundamental difference between these three is that in managed RAP view, the create, read, update and delete operation done by the framework. In the managed RAP BO with the unmanaged save, also it is done by the BO, business object, or we can say it is done by the framework. You don't need to worry. So this, the creation, whenever you are creating the data, it will be saved in the transactional buffer. When we are reading, updating, deleting, everything, when we are doing those things, then everything will be saved in the transactional buffer. We have the transactional buffer in between the transactional sequence. We can say there are two things. We have the handler and saver classes are there. So something is happening in handler. In between we have transaction, then we have the saver. This we have already discussed in my previous videos. So everything happening in the transactional buffer. But when we have to save the data for the managed RAP application, finally I want to save the data in the database. For example, I want to persist the data in the database, or I want to, what we can say in the ABAP term, we want to commit the data in the database. So that time there are two things in the managed. Either you can, this thing you can hand over to the again framework will do, that will completely, your BO will become completely managed by RAP. So the default save implementation, whatever the framework is doing, let it do. Then second thing, you do transactional thing. We tell the RAP BO framework, you do the transactional thing, you do the create, update, delete, whatever you want to do. You update the transactional buffer at the application layer, but you don't persist the data in the database. When you want to save the database, you give handover to me. I will take care. I have already my own code. I will, using your data, I will save my things in the database. Then I explained you in my last video also, then we will come up with the managed RAP BO with unmanaged save. In unmanaged save, I write the code to persist data. Whatever the data is available, that data I want to persist in the database. I will read from the transactional buffer and I will persist the data in the database. One important thing I missed, I think so, in my throughout the managed scenario, that when we doing anything, read operation or modify operations, create, update, delete, in our methods, in EML statement when we are writing, we are updating the BO in the determinations, in the actions. Those all things will happen only in the transaction buffer. The data is not persisting anywhere. That is the most important thing. When we are working with the RAP, we have to make sure it's not persisting in the database. It's just saving your data in the transactional buffer that is available in the application server. It's not on the database. But when you want to save the data, then the save sequence will trigger. I explained in my last video also, the save sequence will be triggered and the data will be saved in the save sequence. That's a very important thing. So these are the basic difference, two basic difference in the managed RAP BO and managed RAP BO with unmanaged save. Third thing, so basically it is telling that we have to write our own code. Means in unmanaged save we have already update function module. I'm using in my older ABAP. I just want to reutilize to save the data in the database. Then I can write that unmanaged save and I can call that particular function module. How to do wrapping and all I will explain you, don't worry. So third thing will come up with the unmanaged RAP BO. Now the situation is that I have all code with me. I want to do the CRUD operation. I want to handle the transaction buffer myself. The framework should not do anything for me. I will do myself. Whenever I do the create, I will update the data in the transactional buffer. Whenever I do the update, delete, create, read, whatever I want to do, I will do, and I will update the transactional buffer accordingly. You don't need to handle the transactional buffer at all. So whatever it is happening, it will save the transactional buffer at the application's layer server. We can use in all three scenarios: actions, determination, and validation. There is no chance these three things can be used in each and every scenario. You can implement in your own way as per your requirement. In managed RAP BO with unmanaged save also, and in unmanaged as well. Here in this unmanaged scenario, not only you have to handle the transactional buffer, you have to handle the save thing also. You have to do the saving part also yourself. So to doing this unmanaged scenario, we have to understand, as I told you, deeply how RAP works. That we will discuss, and throughout the this next videos we will see also. But before going that, I just want to understand that I have the managed RAP BO. I am creating unmanaged RAP BO. What is the advantage of that, creating one RAP application? What all are the advantages? In the unmanaged RAP BO, I am using a lot of existing code only. Create, read, update, and delete. There are the hook points are providing. I'm just calling those things. Means we can say facade is provided. We can say that we have the hologram is provided, or we can say the hooks are provided, where just we are writing the code. In actions also we are writing the code in between. Methods already generated for us. So what is the advantage of using this RAP architecture, what we can say? So these are some advantages are there. You don't need to worry about the protocol. I discussed in previous video also. You have V2 protocol, you have V4 protocol. Whatever the way, just after the creating service, whatever you want to use, you can use. This is the one thing. Second thing, you created your RAP BO. The RAP BO not only used for the Fiori implementation, you can develop the application. That BO now that can be used as a API as well. You can call in any other program, or anywhere you want, wherever you want to call. You can update, delete, modify, read using that BO. Now you have created the result BO. So you can use this BO using the EML statements. Third thing, whenever you are using the RAP application, so we are creating one cloud ready application. So RAP, now we have moved to the S4HANA, slowly moving. A lot of guys are still working on the ECC still, I can see, but now I can say trend is going, we are on S4HANA. But after some time, who knows, SAP force all the clients to move to the cloud, like they forced to the S4HANA. It will take time, I know, but that might be case. I'm not sure, but so we have to be prepared. SAP telling your application should be cloud ready. You are working on cloud or not, but in future you might move your changes. So if in future your company or client decide to move in future, so whenever you develop the application, it should be cloud ready. So that is the reason we have to develop all the APIs or all the applications using this particular RAP framework. Extensibility is available. We have the lot of hook point in the standard RAP application provided by the SAP. I might show you some of the RAP BO already developed by RAP BO applications, managed and unmanaged both. And this video or next video might be, which we can see we can go to the Fiori applications website and we can see what all are the applications, how to search. I will show you. Apart from that, we have something called the business event. Based on if we want to raise some event based on the operation is happening in our RAP BO, we can do that also. That also we will see in upcoming sessions. The most important thing when we develop the RAP BO, you might be developing either on the on-premise or on the cloud or BTP. Cloud, again, two types, public cloud and the private edition. When you are working on the SAP on-premise system, there are full support of ABAP. You can use whatever core ABAP. So core ABAP is available with you. You have a lot of function module, you can work on the ABAP. Even on private edition, what I see, the private editions and the on-premise, there is not much difference. That's just on the cloud on-premise system. You have on-premise system just on the cloud. That's it. And third is the cloud. Really, we have to use ABAP cloud only. There is no other way. You can't use any existing thing. If you want to use any existing, how to use that also I will discuss in next slide. But these are the ABAP development options are available. When you are working on-premise or private edition of the cloud, then you can use the ABAP Classic as well along with the ABAP Cloud. But when you are working in the BTP environment and the public cloud, you have to use ABAP Cloud only. There is no other way. So you can't use classical ABAP programming in those environment. What is ABAP Cloud? We will see slowly in this video series also. Now, unmanaged scenario help us to integrate the existing code in our application. Why we want to use unmanaged scenario? Basically, we have RAP application. Somebody tell that why you want to use unmanaged scenario? Because we have a lot of code written. A lot of companies are there. They have a lot of code is written in the ECC. They are working with SAP more than 10-12 years, more than 2 decades. They have a lot of legacy code. They created a lot of custom code. They don't want to create each and everything now onwards from scratch for just the sake of moving on the ABAP on HANA or cloud. They want to reutilize those things. That's obvious thing, because otherwise they have to spend a lot of money again. So that is the one thing again. The RAP arrive, the ABAP will not gonna die, don't worry. So that is again the phase we see, but we want to reutilize the code. So where we can reutilize, that is the reason the unmanaged scenario came. So most of the current scenario we'll discuss here. I'm not the person, but I went to a lot of blogs, SAP standard documentation, then I got a lot of content and collected and tried to explain you in the precise way. So there might be scenario, you are developing one application where is no existing code is available, nothing is available in existing, and you want to develop the existing new application from scratch. Second scenario, you have some application which is tightly coupled with custom code. Means you have some application in GUI where we have PAI, process after input, process before output. You have some webbed into application, those kind of application where the code is tightly coupled with your front end. Third thing, loosely coupled and reusable custom code is available. You have a lot of update functions module are available, or you can say a lot of APIs are available, BAPIs are available. That kind of scenarios also there which you are using in your existing application. Fourth thing, custom code originating from the ABAP programming model for SAP. You have already developed some application on the Fiori using the Fiori model. That is the fourth scenario. So these are the fourth scenario. We can say most of the scenario fall under whenever we start any new application, then out of this four scenario, one scenario will fall under for you. If you are working with existing code and if you want to move to anything you want to create out of that RAP application, that will come under either one of the 4 scenario. That might be another scenario. If you come up with that something, write it down in comment section so we can discuss more. Not an issue. So again, when we work, no custom code is available. We want to develop anything in Scratch, anything from scratch, then no doubt start with the managed application. The managed application, let it handle, and we have to do minimum implementation, and there will be less effort. Lot of things we can do with the less effort. So without no doubt, you go with the managed BO implementation. That's a thing. Second thing, tightly coupled custom code available. Second thing, when we have one WebDynpro code, like we have the VA01 sales orders there, purchase order there, create, update, delete, we have different screen which is tightly coupled. We have that, we are putting some input, then getting the output, putting some, that front end tool is itself different. We have some WebDynpro applications. Not only that, if you have created some OData service using the MPC extension classes and DPC extension, for each and every method we have written the code. We code some function module, that is a different thing, but we have written the code out there to do those things. So that kind of things also there. To handle those scenarios, again there are the multiple ways to handle these scenarios. First thing, if the at least existing custom code for update task can be decoupled and reused. So something is like that, you develop one application, you are doing the create, read, update, delete, everything you are doing. But when you are saving the final data, you have the some function module card update, and you are calling that function module. Update function module is already available, which is saving the data in the database. Finally, whatever you did after that, you have that function module, you know, that you can reutilize. How to reutilize? Create the managed business. You have the structure, which fields you want to use. You already have what is the input fields. Based on that, you create your model. For example, sales order VA01 is there. I'm just giving the example. So I know these are the tables. I have VBAK, VBAP, lot of other tables, business partner and pricing tables and all. Create with that one business object. Once you created the business object, suppose you created the business object, no need to persist data directly in there. I'm just giving the example. It's not always the scenario. And you have the one function module which is just saving the data. And one more the thing, this BAP, sales order, create and change, these are the not the only for the saving the data. These are the function module where they are doing like working as an API for the from outward, just creating the sales order, just feed the data and create this one sort, they are updating the data in the database. So these are not the function module I'm talking about. The some function module just used for the update function module. I'm talking about those function module, and that we can call directly just to saving the data purpose, because BAP sales order create when you use, still we can utilize. There is the way to do that. We will discuss more in my next video, when to use the BAP and where to use those BAP and all. But something is that we can use, then we can go with this managed BO with unmanaged save and log. Something means what we can say, you have update function module is available, which is just to use for the commit the data in the database, just to make the data changes in the database. Go ahead, and that you use in unmanaged, and to get the data you can use the managed framework of your business object. Second thing, if none of the existing customer can be reused, suppose you have tightly coupled application, you don't have any separate function modules to do anything, you are writing code in MPC extension classes and DPC extensions and classes, you can't code directly those old things. You have tightly coupled code, then without doubt you can't reutilize anything out of that. You might utilize there might be the cases still you can utilize the tables, you can utilize the authorization object, logs, update logs, these things you still utilize if it is available ready-made. But most of the things you are not able to reutilize for the things for your neither for the create, update, delete transactional operation, not for your saving operation, updating the data in the database. Then go for the manage without no doubt. In this scenario, go for the managed application, managed BO implementation. Third thing is that we have already recently we have developed some of the application which is using the CDS custom entities. You don't know about the CDS custom entities, where we are having one class and we write the code to update the data or delete the, that also we can do, but we can use that for, we will discuss about the CDS custom entities in some other scenario. What we can see, some other video, I will try to create one video and put in my CDS series. I still yet to create CDS custom entities and hierarchies. Those videos I didn't create it yet. I will do these things also. But whenever we have the CDS custom entities used instead of normal CDS defined view entity, then we can go for unmanaged BO implementation without draft. We can't create those for those applications. We will be not able to create the draft. So this, if you have already worked on this kind of scenario, you already know. These are the things when we have the tightly coupled custom code is available. We have to make sure. The second scenario, we have loosely coupled reusable custom code is available. Suppose we have developed some application using the BOPF classic framework, or suppose we might have some function modules and BAPs like that. As I told you, the create for sales order, we have a lot of BAPs and function module. But again, there are one hack is there that we will gonna discuss in the next session. But we have some code. In that scenario, again, depending on that, if you are able to, again I told you, if you are able to utilize only the saving part, you are able to utilize only the saving part of that one, then go with the manage with unmanaged save. If we are able to utilize the transactional part also, you have some function module which is saving the data in the application server. It is not committing the changes. That's a very important thing. It should not commit the changes until, as soon as one function module you use for CRUD which is committing the changes in the database, you can't call that particular function module or BAPI, whatever you are having in your transactional phase at all. That's during your CRUD operation in the transactional phase. So you have some function module which is saving the data in the database buffer, or not buffer, database application server, or in this case we can say the transactional buffer. It will save that particular data. Those kind of function module is available. Then go with the unmanaged application. You have create, read, update, delete. Those APIs are there which is saving the data in the transactional buffer, and finally you have some function module which processes the data of that particular whatever the saved on the database, or you have some update function module which is saving the data on the database. Then you can go for the unmanaged BO implementation. That's a very important thing. So these are the things, same thing I have explained, I think so. So the APIs are available for the different CRUD operation, and you have the unmanaged BO implementation is recommended. If only the update function module is available, then you have to go for managed BO with unmanaged save. So these are the things we have to decide based on the what we have, we are available, what we can use out of these frameworks, and whatever the available out of things, those things. The last thing, you already developed some application using the Fiori programming model, then no need to worry. SAP will come up with something new where will be the BOPF managed BO implementation for CDS based BOPF BO, which will SAP future plan. Don't touch as of now those applications, let it be, because I can see SAP standard lot of applications are there which is developed with this programming model. They are coming up with some new solutions, so you can directly reutilize in your RAP, or they are doing something. So don't worry about those applications, don't touch, and let it be those applications. Now I will come up to the things that when we are developing any application, read only a development, or when we are developing the managed application or unmanaged with save applications, and it might be scenario you might be developing on the on-premise system, or you might be developing on the BTP or private or public cloud. So what we have to make sure, and what is the sequence in the way we have to develop. Read-only application is very simple. So whenever you develop the RAP application, you have to develop like that. It will work on cloud as well. If you're working on-premise system, if you're working on cloud, BTP and public cloud, then obviously there is no other way. You have to your code should be compatible with the cloud. But in the, if you are working with the still in the GUI or not GUI, you are working with the on-premise system, on-premise, or you are working with the private cloud, still we can reutilize a lot of code which is not compatible with the cloud. Still we can use, we can enforce also. There is some setting we have to do, then all the programmers have to the new settings only on the particular package. Also we can do that setting. That depends on the project to project, if they are doing or not, it's different thing, but we can do. But when we develop the application, we have to make sure your application will route, if it move to the cloud, it should work smoothly. To do that thing, so if suppose you are developing some read-only application, so you have to make sure that whatever the, if you are reusing the existing table, or if you are using the existing CDS, then make sure that whatever the data element and domain you have used, that should be the cloud compatible. It should be available or released on the cloud with the C1 contract. So these are all the things we have to make sure. Run ATC check. When we run the ATC check, we will get to know those are the, we have one ATC, what we can say, ATC variant is there, which we can use to check our code is, or our tables, or whatever we are developing is compatible with the cloud or not. If it is something is not compatible, then use the compatible things when you develop read-only. Second thing, when we develop the managed application, first we will develop the read-only application. I did the same in my, when I created the managed application. I created first 3 level of the travel, booking and booking supplement. I created from scratch that particular application. Then I included the CRUD operation. Then I have included the action, determinations, validations. Then I did the unmanaged save. So this is the way you have to develop. This is the smooth way. So first develop the read-only application, then do the CRUD operation, and add the validations, actions and determination at last. The most important thing, when you are developing the Fiori front-end application and you want like that, your draft enable Fiori application you want to develop. So you have to decide that from the initial point itself. Sometimes we develop and convert, that is another thing, but you have to decide initial end. When you are testing your application, not only it should work with the draft, it should work independently as well. Independently means somebody called your business object from another program to update, delete, that should work smoothly. That you have to make sure whenever you're working. So you should develop one BO, business object, so that can be used further in the Fiori or web API. You no need to worry. So when you are developing the, most probably with the draft application, that you have to make sure that it should work when you are developing API as well. So these are the points. Again, I have noted from one of the blog. That's a good blog. And again, when we go for the managed development with unmanaged save, so till now managed we no need to worry, because everything cared by the SAP. We are not nowhere including the custom code. Somewhere you can include for reuse utility purpose. You can use the logs, existing log function modules are there that you can call. That is the different thing. But most of the things done by the managed runtime environment. As soon as you develop, you want to add some custom code in somewhere in your application. For example, managed development with unmanaged save, we have some function module, update function module, which we can call in the save method. Save is there for the unmanaged, and for additional save also we have method modify save, something method is there, I forgot the name. So there we can write our own code. When we are writing the code there and we are calling the existing function module, there might be 2 scenario again there. So again we have to start with the read-only application, and we will having the completely managed app where the save is overwritten by the update task. Everything will be till transactional buffer, whatever it is done by our managed application. Just the saving part, like we did in my previous video, done by the update function module. It's not necessary that function module is update, because there is nothing called update function module in ABAP on cloud. All the function module converted to the normal function module. There is nothing is called update function module on cloud. That's a very important thing. So that is the reason, again I'm telling, when you are moving your code to the, when you are working your RAP application, there can be 2 scenarios. Either you are working on BTP or public cloud, or you are working on the private cloud or on-premise system. These are the 2 separation now. one where we have to use ABAP cloud only, another place we can use existing ABAP also, where we have to use the ABAP cloud. So before using that function module, we have to do obviously custom code migration. If you are moving the to the public cloud from your S4 HANA or from S4 HANA system, then you have each and every code should be custom code migration is done. When we are doing the custom code migration, we have to fix a lot of ATC checks, then only we can use those function module. First, that function module should be moved from that to that system, and we have to make sure that that is compatible with the cloud. If it is compatible with the cloud, then only we can use that function module in our save modified method. So for that, we have to do custom code migration, and you have to run the ATC checks, you have to fix all the issues, and then you can reutilize those things either in the BTP if you want to utilize, or if you want to use the ABAP on public cloud, we can say. The now second thing, private cloud. And when we are working with the on-premise or private cloud, it is not that we should not care about cloud at all. So in this scenario also, what we have to do basically, if you have some update function module, you have to wrap that function module around wrapper you have to use, and you have to use that wrapper object you have to release with the C1 contract. Means you can use that in the ABAP on cloud, and then you have to reutilize. That is not that you have to not fix that all ATC checks. Once you moved and you at least you can create that application, but you have to make sure if you have some custom function module which you are using, you are putting the wrap around and you are using in your what we can say in the RAP application, then you have to make sure once it is done, you have to make that function module also the cloud compatible in future. So first step, directly we can create the wrapper and you can use, but at least if you can do that time itself, that check, and that you will do, or otherwise once you have moved, you created the application, after that also you can do this as a second step to make that particular function module as a cloud compatible. So this is the same thing is written, that is again the recommendation only, again depends on how we want to use. That is the client, at least go ahead and use what is the use, but that should not be happen. We have to make the code as much as a cloud compatible. So if we are private cloud or on-premise system, we create the wrapper existing update function module and release with the C1 contract, ABAP cloud development, it can be used. And in second step, you can do the ATC check for that particular FM which you are using, and you can make that cloud compatible after that. But at least if you don't want to do at this point of time, you just want to utilize, you can utilize on-premise system. That is a flexibility we have. Third thing, unmanaged save. So for unmanaged save, not only we can have the method for our saving purpose, for the transactional things, whatever we are doing on the transactional buffer or application server using the CRUD, for that also we have some FM. We have to approach the same thing. We first we have to put the wrapper around that. If you are working on on-premise and the private cloud, if you are working on public cloud or BTP, then you have to do custom code migration. There is no use if you want to reutilize those function modules and all. So the sequence will be same. You have to start with the read-only application, implement your CRUD at a time one, create, first you do, then read, then update and delete, read by association also, that you can do. Then you have to implement your save method. If you have some action, validation, determination, and draft functionality works in all the scenarios is this. No need to worry. The draft will be working managed by the RAP only. Don't worry about the draft. So these are the things. Draft we will discuss more. Still I didn't create the draft application. When we create, then we will discuss more about the draft scenarios. So these two statements will valid for whatever we are using, what all are the function module we are using or BAPs we are using in our application. So we came to the conclusion of this video. So this video we discussed a lot of things. In next video we will make sure this video after a long time I have created in one shot. So in next video we'll discuss about the SAP LUW, how it work in ABAP on cloud, or we can say for the whenever we are developing the RAP application what is the SAP LUW. Before understanding the SAP LUW in the RAP, how it will work, you should know the what is SAP LUW or what is LUW. If you don't know that thing, just I will give the one video description which I have created long back. It's a I really explained the nice way what is LUW, what is SAP LUW, what is database commits, what is implicit and explicit database commits, those all the things, including update function module also. Those all the things I have explained. If I will put that video playlist in I button also, in the description also, you can go through that series, you will understand better. And second thing, can we use all the BAPIs and FM in our RAP development? No, we can't use each and every BAPI or function, whatever it is available. Even they have meant to create suppose we have BAPI create customers, create sales order. We can directly go and use. Not necessarily always you can use those BAPIs directly in your RAP application. And if we can use, then how to use that also I will try to explain in the whatever I have learned from the this powerful man called internet, to the different blog series, and I will try to explain. Before going to next video, please like this video, share this videos on your LinkedIn platform, wherever the ABAP community is there. Share this video as much as possible. And with that, thank you and happy learning.